What is going on, guys? It is Kojo Mo here, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the biggest lies I have heard people say about Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We're going to bust some myths today. We're going to talk about things that just are not true when it comes to this game that we all know and love. Before we get in the video, it would mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and left a comment down below. We post videos every single day on this channel, so it would mean a lot to me, and it would really help me grow and get closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. But yeah, let's talk about it. So one of the biggest myths I have seen about Counter-Strike Global Offensive is people think that Faceit level 10 and global elite are the same, right? People think that if you are global, you are good enough to be Faceit level 10, and I can tell you from personal experience that this is absolutely not true. It is not true, guys, trust me. I will tell you that in my opinion, I think it is much easier to get global elite in matchmaking than it is to get Faceit level 10. And I know it's a very, controversial opinion maybe to have, but some people out there truly believe that matchmaking is harder than Faceit, and I think that is completely wrong. And from my personal experience, when I was level 10 in Faceit, I could easily, and I still do to this day, like I have I have close to 4,000 elo on Faceit, and I can join a matchmaking lobby full of global elites. I'm global elite right here, and I will drop 30 every single game. Like I will drop 30 plus kills consistently, right? Now, does this mean that if you're global, you can't be like Faceit level 10? Obviously not. No, I just think that personally, matchmaking ranks have lost their value and it's not as important anymore, right? It's more just for the casual player now, where obviously all the competitive players play on Faceit and work their way up through that system. So I think that that's the biggest myth I've ran into in my time playing CS, is that matchmaking ranks are harder than Faceit ranks, which is just wrong in my opinion. So I've seen global elites that are like Faceit level 6. Like, come on, man. And I think it just depends on who you queue with and the way you do that. But let's talk about our next lie slash myth I have heard, guys, and this one actually makes me mad. It is the lie that you're not gonna make it, that you're not good enough to be a professional player, and you're not good enough to make it in the scene. I think that is so wrong, because truly I have seen it time and time again, not just with CS, but any sport, any other esport. If you are capable of putting in the work and you have a nice work ethic and you know what you're doing as far as like practice and training goes, you can make it, right? I'm not saying you're going to be the #1 player in the world. I'm not saying you're going to be Zywoo, simple, right? But you can make it and you can be a professional player, right? It's time and time again through esports and sports, you see players that are not mechanically as gifted as some of the top people in the game, but because of their training, because of their mind, because of the work that they put in, they outwork those that are higher skilled than them. So when I hear people say like, oh bro, you should just give up, you're not good enough, oh bro, you should give up, you're never gonna make it, I hate hearing that, and I hate seeing when people are saying that, because true, you might not make it, you might not, right? 99% of people aren't going to make it. That's completely fine, right? They're right. Chances are that person is not going to make it, but that doesn't mean that that person can't make it, right? That doesn't mean that that person can't put in the right training, can't learn the game properly and become a professional player, become a player that can do this for a living. And I think it's so wrong when I hear lower level people saying that, and it honestly kind of just tilts me when I hear people talking about stuff like that. But let's talk about our next myth, guys, and that is that you should be playing 1 or 2 maps when you're playing CS, right? I've seen so many people, and maybe you guys are like this in my comments, where you think that playing 1 or 2 maps that you're comfortable with is the best way to get better at CS. And guys, it might be a shortcut to ranking up, right? It might be a shortcut. You might only play Mirage and get global elite or Faceit level 10, whatever you want, but that is just literally going to make you a worse player, right? And I hear people saying, man, I'm so good, right? I'm so good at CS. And then look at their matches and it's purely Dust 2. It's literally Dust 2, Dust 2, Dust 2, Dust 2. You're not good at the game then. The game is not just Dust 2, right? The game is Inferno, Nuke, Overpass, all of these active duty maps that you don't want to play. Ancient, Anubis. I know a lot of you guys watching this video right now do not want to play Ancient and Anubis. I know it. So, and especially Nuke. I have a lot of Nuke haters out there. but you're not truly bettering yourself as a player if you don't know these maps. If you're insane on Mirage and Inferno and you know all the smokes, all the lineups, you know exactly what you should be doing, but then you neglect a map like Nuke and you know overpass in Anubis, then how are you going to say you're this good player and you're insane? If you're faced at level 10 on Mirage and Dust 2, but as soon as you get into a Nuke game, you're playing like a level 6. Well, then in my eyes, you're not even a face at level 10. If my team ever played your team in an event, in a tournament, and we got one of these maps that you don't play religiously, then you're done. Like you're literally going to be playing awful. So I hate seeing that people, you know, believe that if you play one or two maps, it's going to better you as a player and make you, you know, improve, because it's not. The only thing it's going to do is get you your internet points that are going to make you feel better about yourself. But at the end of the day, you know, it means nothing, right? It means absolutely nothing. So that's you know, very concerning to me and very, you know, hard to watch. So, you know, and another myth, guys, that I see a lot in the scene is that, you know, North American Counter-Strike sucks, right? NACS is just awful. And there is some truth to that, right? So okay, there is truth to that myth. But the fact is, guys, if you play here, and there's been a lot of teams that come to NA, there's been, you know, there's a lot of Russian, CIS, Ukrainian mixes that have come to NA, and you know they struggle sometimes. You know, they're not the best players. They're not farming. You know, look at the South American teams that came here. They farmed, but they lost to NA teams. They didn't win every tournament, right? The truth is, there is really good talent in North America, right? There's some really good teams, and you know, there's been times and examples where some of these teams actually upset and beat some of the best teams in the world, whether it's a fluke or not. The point is that there is so much talent here in NA. There really is. The problem is it's just not being used properly, and people aren't truly being able to grow into the players that they can, right? There's no system in place that will allow players to actually keep climbing and climbing and climbing to get better. There is at the bottom, right? You can go from, say ESEA League, you can go from open to main to advanced to ECL, right? But kind of once you get to that ECL level, that's where all these teams and players stagnate. They don't go farther, right? Whereas like in EU, there is just infinite amount of practice. It's the best region right now for practice. It's the best region right now for, you know, grinding and climbing the ladder. So I think at the end of the day, it's not that the NA players suck. It's not that NA doesn't have good players. If you put them in a pug or make them play, they are they are mechanically talented, and they are such good players, right? They are insane. The problem is when you put them in a team environment, they're always going to lose to a heroic. They're always going to lose to G2. They're going to lose to FaZe, right? I mean, FaZe has twists and he's NA, so I mean, I guess that counts for something. But regardless, you guys know what I mean. It's not that the players are awful here in NA. It's not. It's that the teams here are not as good as the teams in EU. So at the end of the day, I think I've noticed that a lot, and I see a lot of talent here just not being used properly. And it comes down to a lot of issues and a lot of reasons. But I don't like hearing that. But let me know what you guys thought about these myths, about these lies that people say in Counter-Strike. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What are your thoughts? And you know, I look forward to chatting with you guys. I'll respond to every comment on this video, and we'll have a good discussion. So I appreciate every single one of you. We're going to keep posting videos every single day in 2023. It's been a grind. It's been real. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.